Feel so damn good. I got a boner. On the Go Show released a new episode today. Gonna listen to it with my boner. My boner.
So what do you have to say about Ben Affleck?
So, he did like a GQ interview for, because he has I think it was GQ or one of the magazine, famous magazine covers. And he did like an interview and he was talking about his time as playing Batman. He was very self-aware and talked about, he enjoyed the role, but how can I say this? He enjoyed it, but didn't enjoy it. He came to work every day, did his job, but went home and had a toxic life.
Well, didn't DC, they were really pushing for him to finish that, like a solo movie, because he was going to do a solo Batman film. I think he was writing the script. He was supposed to direct, and they were like really pushing him to do it quickly.
Yeah, he was pushing to do it, but also too, in between that, he was saying that he was not very happy in his life.
Yeah,
he was dealing with alcoholism, dealing with divorce with Jennifer Gardner. Man, he was dealing with a lot, and it was a very self-reflective interview, and I really enjoyed reading it. And he said at first he liked it. He liked playing Batman, but then when his son saw Batman and he saw how scary he looked, and he saw that it was very adult. Oh. And that's when Ben Affleck was like, "Oh, so I got a problem. You got a problem," because the studios had two different mindsets. Zack Snyder had his way of how he wanted to do Batman and Justice League, and the studios had their different way of how they wanted to do DC and Justice League.
Right.
That's where the problem went in at. That's where the problem went in at. And it was just a disaster. And Ben Affleck didn't enjoy his time because he just kind of pretty much did the whole clock in, punch out. Didn't go out to no parties, no after parties, none of that crap. I don't want to do any of it. I just want to do this and get it over with.
Yeah, I just want to fulfill my contract. Get me out of here.
Yeah. And, like he said, once he saw that his son didn't enjoy it as much, then that's when he was like, okay.
That makes sense, though, because you look at Batman v Superman, dude. That version of Batman is so dark and aggressive, and he was murdering people. And I know the older crowd was. I don't know, because I feel like it was received okay. Yeah, very mixed, very very mixed on how they felt, because Batman's one rule is he doesn't murder people. But then you watch this movie and you can kind of explain it yourself, where it's all right, obviously something bad happened to Robin. This guy's been through a lot of stuff. This is Dark Knight Returns kind of version of Batman. So maybe this is just an older version of Batman who stopped caring about murder or whatever. Which is fine with that. But then you backpedal it in the next couple movies, right? Because by the time Justice League comes out, he's like, I don't murder people. And the audience is like, we've seen you kill 4 people.
And that was just Warner Brothers trying to pivot.
Yeah.
Because also too, and this is apart from the Ben Affleck stuff, they couldn't sell any merchandise, dude.
Yeah, no, I kind of remember that. Yeah.
they wasn't selling anything.
Batman v Superman was received not great. Not poorly, but not great either.
They didn't make their money back because they couldn't sell any toys. They couldn't sell any toys. No. They couldn't sell any pillows and stuff like that because it was too dark.
Yeah.
So they lost a lot in their investment pool as well.
And that's kind of wild when you look at the Zack Snyder fans for the Snyderverse version of the Justice League and all that stuff. It's how feverishly they are over it. And it's I understand caring about a movie franchise, but you do have to recognize this wasn't for everybody. That's why this didn't work out so well. And DC also just they let each director do whatever they wanted.
Yep.
Versus where Marvel was hey, here's our outline, at least up until Endgame, right? They're here's our outline, here's where it needs to connect, do this, this, and this. DC was as long as it gets to this point, you can do whatever you want, but you have to have this name drop or whatever.
Looking at James Gunn's Superman, I can already tell you this is not going to be for everybody either. No, it's not going to be for everybody because it's I saw the merchandise is a lot more light. It's very hopeful.
But you know what? That's comic book movies in general. There hasn't been a comic book movie where everybody across the board is this was my movie. I mean, some people are gonna not like it. Some people will. That's the territory that comic book movies have.
That's very much true, man. I was just very reflective. I really enjoyed reading that article. Reading that little article of Ben Affleck. It made me like him even more. He didn't trash the movie. He didn't say Zack Snyder was trash. He didn't say Warner Brothers was trash.
Right.
He took a very neutral stance, and he took more accountability of his own self.
Which is good.
He took accountability of the fact that he didn't grasp the fact of how to really do Batman.
Right.
You know,
he was like, I like Batman, and I wrote Batman a certain way, but the way I wrote it just didn't work out the way I wanted it to.
Yeah, he didn't know how to really do Batman. You know, anybody can play Batman, but he didn't know how to do it. You know,
which is wild because you would think like there's so much Batman material out there to study, but you know, sometimes you think you know how a character is, and then you start writing it yourself, and you're like, oh, actually, I don't know anything about this character.
And also, it also doesn't help too that you're dealing with personal life at home, divorce and stuff of that nature.
Yeah, exactly. You got stuff going on at home, and then DC is pushing you to like finish this script.
And you also playing a role.
You're playing the character. Yeah.
Yeah. You're playing a character who's already depressed and has alcohol issues, and
right.
You're dealing with alcohol issues your own self.
And then not to mention you're dealing with all the scrutiny from the internet. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like all the toxic fans out there who are just like coming at you every day.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's not fun on either side. So I really enjoyed the article. I highly suggest that you can get some time to read it. It's really good.
Yeah, that sounds cool. I'm definitely going to do that.
Yeah. Because, he has that movie coming out, The Accountant.
Oh, The Accountant 2.
Yeah, The Accountant 2. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever saw The Accountant?
No, I haven't seen The Accountant.
This is really good. It's really good.
It's like a gangster kind of film, right? He's working for a mob or something?
No.
It's a crime drama? No?
No, it's more like it's like an action. It's like he has like Asperger's.
Oh, okay.
And he's a kick-ass dude. He has a certain way of how he do things.
Okay.
And he separates his life from how he does things. And he's really, really good in it, man. It's really, really good movie. I highly suggest you watch that too. And John Berthal's in it.
I know it's a classic. I know the first one was a classic when it came out, sort of. Mm-hmm. Like very, very popular movie. So
yeah,
it's been a while since the first one, hasn't it?
I think so.
I could be wrong. Remember when Equalizer 3 came out?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
With Denzel, and I was like, oh, Equalizer 3, and I think it was Equalizer 2. When Equalizer 2 came out, I was like, oh, they're finally doing a sequel to this, because I didn't realize Equalizer is like a newer movie. I thought it had been out for years.
It was fairly new.
That's how I feel about The Accountant. Like, it feels like it's been out for years, but I'm going to find out it came out like 4 years ago.
I don't know if it's online, the first one. It probably is, like on Peacock or something.
Yeah, it probably is somewhere. Or Tubi. Tubi's got some hidden gems.
Yeah, or Tubi or Netflix.
Yeah, I'll go find it. I'll try to watch it on my free time.
Yeah, man, you should. And watch that and read that article, man, because I was reading after he did that in the article. Of course, the Zack Snyder bros.
Oh, they jumped all over it.
Yeah, well, they couldn't look past their own bias. It's like, see, if he's trashing DC, he's trashing Warner Brothers. I said, you clearly didn't read this all the way. Like,
yeah, man. Sometimes online reactors are just the worst.
Or you clearly just didn't care about this man's well-being as a human being, or you just care more about him playing Batman than you do his well-being as a human, and have a healthy life for the duration of his time on this earth.
Yeah,
because that's what it's about. It's about his human life.
Right. And he's like, I'm a human being, and I was suffering these things, and I'm going to work every day writing Batman. Yeah, writing and playing a role that's clearly... I'm playing what is supposed to be a cartoon character, but I wrote him as this hardcore dude. It affected my son, and it was probably a reflection on what was happening to me, like in real life. And all you guys can see is that he's trashing DC and Warner Brothers. Yeah, that's all you got out of it. That's a shame. That's like, boy. That's how it is. But people with podcasts try to spin the narrative. Yeah, man, you gotta watch out sometimes. Spin the narrative. Well, look, I told you this before. I only have a couple people I watch on the podcast. It's not a lot. It's not a lot when it comes to entertainment. Yeah, my viewing pool is very shallow as well. It is not my man Christian Harloff, John Campia, Grace Randolph. Even though she gets on my nerves sometimes. Mm-hmm. Coy, Real Rejects. Real Rejects is my favorite. Yeah, of course, Double Toasted. Double Toast. I love those guys. They number one always. Right. Yeah, Coy is the best. Coy Gennaro. I think I butcher his last name. People hate him because he's so positive. Yeah. And people hate him because he's always positive about everything. See, I listen to and I watch the Weekly Planet, and it's the YouTube channel is Mr. Sunday Movies, but the podcast is Weekly Planet. It's like these two Australian dudes, and they cover movie news and they review movies and all that stuff. But the way they do it is like it's just straight. They're having fun with it. Like even if a movie's bad, they're still having fun with it. So I like their banter, and I can agree with them. And then even if I do disagree with them, they're not bashing a movie with anger and hatred. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's not hatred, and that's what you need. And that's why Coy's not like that. Coy is like, look, I'm positive about comic book movies and movies in general because the life is already negative as it is.
This is all art. It's all supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be escapist. Like,
now he will say like, hey, hey, this movie doesn't work for me. It may work for you, but it doesn't work for me. Now he'll go that far, but he won't just go scorch the earth like Geeks and Gamers. Like Geeks and Gamers is the worst. For a podcast that says they don't believe in politicals and stuff like that, politics, but you guys are sure putting off your conservative politics on everything.
Critical Drinker, I hear, has also gotten very bad over the years.
Nerdorama too.
Nerdorama.
Yeah. His profile pic is the little glasses with the little nerd thing on there. Really? Yeah, he's got pretty bad too. He's very conservative about his views. And when I say conservative, not conservative, it's just being a douchebag. Tyrone Magnus is like that too.
Oh man, he got like that.
You know him too, Tyrone Magnus.
Yeah, well, he's a big reactor dude, right? Like,
man.
I think he was one of the original reaction people that came out after the Fine Brothers, and then the Fine Brothers tried to sue him.
Yeah, man, he's like that. He's turned to the dark side, man.
You know who I still like to watch is Nostalgia Critic.
Nostalgia Critic is sister. He's still good. I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's still fun. And again, it's one of those things where it's like he's playing a character, so it's all kind of a bit. So even when he does like bash a movie, it's the character and not like his opinion. True. You know what I mean? There's a level of silliness there that works.
Man, I hate that with Tyrone Magnus. He just sold out for that money, man. Sold out for man. He's a grifter.
That's what happens. Sometimes the money's more important than the content, I suppose.
Because he never was like this back in the day. None of his content was like this back in the day.
Right.
And then he started getting to this point where as soon as he started saying woke, as soon as he started saying things were too woke, I said, oh, man.
Yep. Once they start co-opting that word, you're done.
I said, come on, Tyrone. Tyrone was never like this.
Right.
Tyrone Magnus was never like this. He's just conservative douchebag now. He's a conservative douchebag. He's just conservative. He's a pinhead. Like, he bashes everything. He hates everything Marvel. He hates everything that James Gunn is doing with DC. He says Superman's gonna be trash. Didn't even give it a shot. I'm just like, man.
Is he's gonna say it's trash, but he's still gonna be able to see it, and he'll probably be able to see it for free. You know what I mean? Because he's big enough to where he gets like the social, like the free screenings, the pre-screenings, so he can like do his reviews ahead of time. So like you're gonna sit there and trash DC, but then you're gonna take the free tickets and go see the movie, and then you're gonna come back and then you're still gonna bitch about it.
Exactly. Oh, that's a good point. That's a really, really good point.
Because that's how all this works. You know,
that's a good point.
This guy's not paying for these tickets at this point. He's been around for far too long to actually pay money to the theaters. He's getting the pre-screening crap.
That really hurt me, man. When I saw that, like I unfollowed him. I unfollowed him on YouTube. I said I got to unfollow him.
That's sad days when you got to do that. You know,
he had a lot of fan base that dropped off because his political views and stuff like that. And I was just like, man, when did this happen?
Right.
Like, he was never like this. As soon as he said Disney was too woke, I was like, well,
that's it.
Let me sign off then. Let me go ahead and sign off, buddy.
It's such a lazy review or reaction. It is. You know what I mean? It's such a lazy thing to say. Like, oh, Disney's woke. You look at Disney over the past year, like however many years, they've always been quote unquote woke. Even comics. Like, someone made the comment, like, comic books have always been socially progressive. Like, forever, even before X-Men, it's always been very much socially progressive. That's the whole point behind superheroes. They're sticking up for the group of people who can't stick up for themselves.
Who can't stick up for themselves? Yeah, that's what it's about.
It's always been there.
A lot of times, a lot of these guys don't believe what they're saying. They're just doing it for the money.
No, they're just saying crap.
Because it's more easy to be negative than to be positive.
Which is not horrible. It's just a shame. It's upsetting, and it's a shame that, like, that's what sells.
Geeks and gamers, man. Geeks and gamers are like that, man. Geeks and gamers, I been started following them a long time ago. I started following them like in 2018 or 19.
That's crazy.
One of those years, because they're really toxic. They're really toxic. Oh man, don't never follow them. If you see a green and you see that some eyes, green eyes, and it says Geeks and Gamers, don't follow.
And you know what? I feel like a bunch of these people, their frame of reference ended in like 2008, 2009.
Yep.
Like right around Tropic Thunder, because like Tropic Thunder comes up a lot in some of these circles I see. They're like, oh yeah, Tropic Thunder was hilarious. It's like that's the line. That's where they stopped like really watching anything new. You know what I mean?
They try to use Tropic Thunder as a reference, but I was like, see, this is what they're talking about. I said, no, it's a little bigger than that. It's a little bit deeper than that.
Yeah.
Don't just try to co-opt that movie and try to use it as your reference. It's a little bit deeper than that.
Right. I don't know. It just seems like the early 2000s was kind of like, that's where their media literacy ends.
Yep.
You know, that's it. That's like the glory days for them.
Yep.
Or that's what they sell anyway. I don't know, like behind closed doors, who knows? But that's what they sell.
Something totally different, Jacob. I can tell you that 100%. Like Tyrone Magnus, his numbers right now on YouTube. Let me see. What's his last numbers on YouTube? God, I hate to even go to his page.
The big thing is the hate watching, because you know there's a certain amount of people who just hate watch him, and that's also a problem, right? Because if you don't like someone, if you really don't agree with their content, just don't give them the time of day. Like, don't sit there and hate watch it.
Like his girlfriend, she doesn't hate everything. His girlfriend doesn't hate nothing at all. You know, she gives a valid opinion about something, but she doesn't use the term. She's not anti-woke or anything like that.
So that's your selling point, right? Be like, all right, Tyrone, he's the angry one, but the girlfriend is the more level-headed one. So you're like, oh, I can watch Tyrone and like watch his angry takes, and I watch her level-headed takes, and then I form my opinion from those two takes. But that's how they're doing it. That's the grift right there.
2.02 million subscribers.
Dang.
And then he said, let's see, his last reaction video, new Superman test screening results. Now I know they're all negative, and he has 72K views on that.
You can just say, you know what I mean? That's the problem. It's like, that's the problem with like these independent media journalist types, is like, you can just say whatever. There's no journalistic integrity behind it.
Yesterday's video, these new Superman promo pics are terrible.
Okay. It's like, all right, I guess. But it works. It works. Unfortunately, it works. But also other things work. So it's not all for naught, my friend. There's a space for everybody.
It's unfortunate, man. I really like that guy.
That is a shame. R.I.P. Tyrone. He's dead to us.
Oh yeah, he's dead. He's dead to us, man. He's dead to me. I'm good.
Makes me feel so alive. Listen to those guys talk about anything and everything with my boner, boner, my boner, boner, my boner, boner, my boner. Keep up the good work, me and my boner. I'm always gonna listen to you guys. Word to your mother, your sister, your grandma.